What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, everybody. I already got to take a drink of water. Sore throat this week, guys. Trying to get over this cold. Definitely over the hump, but still kind of got, voices. If you watched the video on Monday, you definitely heard my voice was like, not what it usually sounds like, because that's what happens when you have a cold. So I might be doing a little coughing and a little drinking of the water there. So anyway, hey, everybody that's in there, Scar My Guitar, $10 in the super chat. Thank you. Speaking of Scar My Guitar, Scarred Reaper, guys, there it is in all its glory. You just heard me shredding on it. Who else we got in there? Jamie, Vins, good music is good. Well, that's true. Deza J, I don't know if I said that right. No news on the Leo James Floyd goes. I don't know anything about that yet. No news is good news, maybe. Steve Gunner, Ubi. Ubi's also got one of these Scarred Reapers. And we've got a Parsival. Hello, hello. First time in the chat, so thanks for joining us, dude. Gunner, BT Cheppy, all right. Searching for Tone. also has experience with the Scarred Reaper. Rod, what's up, Rod? Joe, if Metal Dude doesn't have a cold, you'll know that we're two different people. Well, he does have a cold, and we are two different people because I told you in the video, he used my toothbrush again. He did that to me before. And if I don't hide my stuff, he just like gets his grubby hands all over it, his germ-infested mouth and hands. What am I going to do about that, dude? Fisticuffer! And we got Marlon. What's up, Marlon? And we got Chad. I haven't seen Chad in a while. Chad coming back with a question that he asked me many times before. Coming back with that. Going for the classic question. You've asked that before, right, Chad? George Lynch, best of the 80s shredders. He was definitely in my top 2 of the 80s. George Lynch and Paul Gilbert. Those are my top 2. So, yeah, he's right up there. And we got Scar My Pickups. Hey, speaking of Scar My Pickups. Oh, 2 Scar My Pickups right there. So let me just say, before I forget, Kathy, I'm assuming that's you. Fantastic job on these hand-wound Scar My Pickups, whatever you call them, scarred pickups. You guys heard them in the video, right? You heard them. I'm gonna play the clean section of the video here in a few minutes because I just felt like that clean sounded so good that I want to play it again. I mean, I'm not gonna play it live. I'm just gonna play that clip from the video because it just turned out so well. Anyway, what else is going on, dudes? And let me just say, you know, it's been really good response to the video, guys. 20,000 views in let's see, when on live Monday, in less than 3 days. 20,000 views so far in less than 3 days. So that's a lot. That's definitely more than my average. So, you know, it's very exciting. And for the most part, the comments were, you know, very positive. People really enjoyed the video. Of course, you know, I mean, why'd they enjoy the video? Well, it's because they were really interested in this guitar. And I guess a lot of people just interested in seeing what I had to say about it and what I could do with it because, of course, I'm sure most of you have already seen these guitars in other videos, but it was like, hey, what's that bald dude gonna do with the Scarred Reaper? Is he gonna like it? Is he gonna hate it? Is he gonna make it sound good? Is it gonna sound terrible? And well, you saw in the video, I definitely made it sound good, or it made me sound good. Or maybe both, I guess you could say. So, yeah, the Scarred Reaper, guys. I mean, it's pretty cool. So, as I said in the video, this is not a new guitar. Sean came out with these, you know, a while ago. I don't remember exactly how long ago, but it took a while for him to realize, like, hey, maybe I need to send one of these Reapers out to that bald dummy out there in California, or maybe I should put, you know, hold on, guys. I think it probably went something like this. Take the glasses off. There we go. Hey, Kathy. You suppose we should send one of these here Reapers out to that bald dummy out there in California? Yeah? All right. We're going to make it happen. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would imagine it went something like that finally. And Kathy finally probably smacked him upside the head and said, send him one already. And he did. And I'm really glad that he did because I'm more impressed with it than I thought it would be. Than I thought I would be. So what I thought, guys, is I thought I wasn't going to like the neck. I thought I wasn't going to like the neck because, you know, like I said in the video, this is kind of like it's in that category of Les Pauls and stuff, right? And when you think of like this kind of guitar, you know, it's just in my mind, I had it like, oh, that's going to be kind of like a big and bulky. And I thought the neck, and as I've said many times, guys, many times, the neck and the frets, that's the most important part. The most important part for me on a guitar, whether I'm going to like it or not like it, or be able to shred on it, or just to be able to play effectively, you know? And so I was just super surprised that it didn't have like a big bulky neck. I don't know exactly why I thought it would be like that. And so, yeah, I like it. And yeah, Sean, you were right. You said I would love it. And you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. That's for darn sure. So that neck profile, you know, it's not big. It's not chunky. It's thin enough. Very comfy. The excellent fretwork, the action. You know, guys, right before the live stream, this is a true story. You know, I plug it in and start warming up about 15 minutes before, and I'm picking, and I'm literally kind of like, well, and actually, it was probably this hand. I'm missing some of the notes. You know why I was like kind of missing some of the notes? Took me a few minutes to get used to it again, because the action is so low. And I said this in the video, I think it's even lower than how I have it set, like on most of my shred guitars. And that's because the frets are so level and the fretwork is so good. You know, you can only lower the action so low before you start getting fret buzz and stuff. And then you got to, okay, now I got to raise it up because I'm getting fret buzz. But if those frets are just like laser level, then you can get that action super low. So yeah, lower than what I normally do. So fantastico. That's all I can say. And then the other funny thing is, like, I thought this thing was going to be like a beast, like a heavy, you know, you look at this and you go, wow, that's, you know, looks kind of, it looks like it should be heavy. And then you pick it up and it's like, wow, 6 pounds? 6 pounds, 6.08 pounds to be exact. Pretty surprising there, right? And as we know, again, mentioned in the video, the body is chambered. Now, I don't know exactly where the chambers are over here. I don't know. And like, how big are the chambers? That information, I don't know. I didn't ask Sean because, quite frankly, it doesn't matter. All I know is that it's a 6 pound guitar, which is another thing that I love. So, yeah, Ubi, I don't think I want yours. I don't want like a 9 pounder or a 10 pounder or whatever yours is. Yeah, I'd have to pass on that. So, in that regard, it ended up working to my advantage that he didn't send me one right away, because if he had, it would have been on the heavier side, because the first editions or whatever, they didn't have the chambered body. And they were a lot heavier. So, yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we waited. And, yeah, that's another thing. That wasn't, you know what? I wasn't even sure on that, Sean. Sean says these are 10 gauge strings. And I wasn't even sure. I thought, did he put 9 gauge strings on this? Because normally, when a guitar has 10 gauge strings, I can tell immediately, because it's harder for me to play. And I can't get, like, it's harder for me to do this. Harder to do that because the strings are thicker and stronger, right? And I always find myself like wanting to immediately take off the strings and put on 9 gauge strings. So the fact that these are 10 gauge strings, but it's not super hard to play. And again, I think that's a factor of the action being really low. So there you go, guys. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no question about the quality, about the playability, about like, is it a good guitar? Is it not a good guitar? There's just no question about that. So I'm still not the biggest fan of the shape, but you know, it's growing on me. That's all I can say. It's growing on me. And having it in person and just, you know, the more I mess around with it and the more I play it and the more I just hold it, yeah, it's growing on me. And it's also a little bit different in person. In person, you just get a I don't know, different feeling or a different vibe, whatever, than just seeing like the videos online or the pictures or whatever. So yeah, so I'm liking the Reaper, definitely, guys. So let's see here. Josh says, where can you buy it? As far as I know, unless Sean says something differently here, these are sold through his eBay store. So if you just go on eBay and you search Scar My Guitar, I'm sure you'll find, or if you just go to my video from Monday, I've got the link to his eBay store in that video. And I believe he does have some Reapers in there for sale, guys. I'm not sure how many right-handed Reapers are left. Maybe at least one. There was another white one that he had in the eBay store when my video went up, but man, that thing sold quick. So I think somebody watched the video and then they went and snagged that one. And oh, Sean says they're sold out. So Sean says they're sold out. But there's going to be more coming up. Sean said he's going to have more coming up, like pretty soon, guys. I don't think it's going to be that long. Do I consider it to be on par with the Gibson? You know, I don't play Gibsons. Here's the thing. Like, I don't have any Gibsons. I have a Chipson. You can see it behind me right there, but it's not a real Gibson. And I'm just never going to own a Gibson because it's priced beyond what I feel is reasonable to pay for an electric guitar. So, but what I will say is, I don't think you can even buy a new Gibson guitar for $699, which is what this was selling for. Maybe a used one? I don't know. But like, I mean, it's really, the question should be like, what's a better deal? And this for $699 is a better deal than paying $2,000 or $3,000 for a Les Paul that's maybe on par with it as far as, like, you know, the playability, the sound, the quality. I mean, it plays great and it sounds great. What more do you want, you know? I mean, unless that name on the headstock is just so important to you, like it's got to say Gibson, you know, but then you're paying for the name. Not necessarily just for the quality, but you're just paying for that name, and you're paying a premium for that name. So, yeah, New York Chokehold, like maybe a used Epiphone, right? I don't know what they go for, these guys, because I don't shop for that stuff. I don't go looking to see like, oh, you know, what are used Epiphone Les Pauls selling for these days. I'm just not, that's not a guitar like of my interest, and I know I'm not going to buy one of those, so just not totally up on that. But is it like, if somebody were to ask me, is it as good as an Epiphone Les Paul? I don't know, because I haven't played an Epiphone Les Paul in like forever. So I just can't really make that direct comparison. But again, all I can tell you is that this one is fantastic. So that's all you need to know. Steve Ford says he prefers his Leo Jaymz to any Gibson. Well, I would too. You know, I love my Leo Jaymz guitars, especially the Monsoon, as you guys know. And I would much rather play like a Monsoon than like a Gibson or an Epiphone, because it's much more suited to my tastes, obviously. And way, way more affordable, of course. Now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and play you the clean clip from the video on Monday. So just in case, you know, if you missed it somehow, or you just want to hear it again, because this clean clip is where it's the star of the show, because it really shows off the sound of the pickups and just how great they sound. So here we go with the clean clip, and then we'll come back and talk some more. Here we go. All right, guys. So, I mean, okay, I'm going to tell you guys honestly. I like that part more than I did like the shredding and the crunchy stuff. I just thought it sounded amazing. And in case you didn't notice, for that section there, or that clean section when I recorded it, I tuned the low E string down to drop D. So when you hear that low note that I'm hitting on the E string, it's actually the D note, the low D, the drop D. And I did that because I wanted that big, like that, just the lower, heavier sound to come through the pickups with that clean setting, in combination with, you know, the higher notes that I'm doing up here. And I just wanted that lower note because I knew it was just gonna resonate like crazy, just like boom, and it did. So it's like, what it makes me think is like, if I'm recording like a new song or something, and that song's got a clean section in it, I feel like this is going to be the go-to guitar for recording clean sections in new music, whatever. Unless I'm doing a demo on another guitar, obviously I'll be using that guitar. But wow, just fantastic on the, just so clear, so crystal clear, you know? And I was skeptical, guys. I was skeptical, you know, only because, honestly, I don't know what goes into making pickups. I don't know how difficult it is or how easy it is, or if it takes like a certain kind of magic touch, you know? I mean, if it does, Kathy's got it, obviously. But yeah, I still don't know. Like, how easy is it to wind pickups and get them to sound good? So I thought, you know, oh, maybe those pickups aren't going to be that great, but they are. Yeah. So again, you know, no more doubt about anything. All my questions were answered once I got it and plugged it in and heard it and played it and stuff. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, but don't you guys sell just the pickups in your eBay store? Don't you sell like scarred pickups? I don't know if you have any in there now, but I'm sure I've seen some before. where you sell only the pickups. So that might be something that you guys might want to consider. You know, anybody watching that's like, I need to buy some pickups, and maybe check out what pickups he's got or will have in the near future. Metal Dude plays the chips in. Yeah, he probably does. I think Metal Dude plays like whatever he can get his hands on, you know, which usually whatever he can get his hands on are my guitars. And I'm going to be honest, guys. He was wanting to get his hands on this one, but he hasn't yet. But you never know when Metal Dude, if I'm not here, he could be in here sneaking and recording some video and uploading a video of Metal Dude playing the Reaper without my knowledge, obviously. But we'll see. Alrighty, guys. So according to Sean, they don't have any pickups for sale at the moment, but they will in the near future. So something to keep in mind, guys, for sure. Just have Ricks beat up Metal Dude. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? You know, I don't know why this is, but I never seem to see those two guys in the room at the same time. I wonder why that is. Yeah. But wouldn't that be hilarious if I could get a video of Metal Dude and Ricks going at it, fighting? Wow. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? And then people would be like, wait a minute. There's Metal Dude, there's Ricks, and wait, they're trading blows. How is this possible? Because some people are under the mistaken impression that Ricks and Metal Dude are the same person. It's like, what? Not even close. Not even close. So, yeah, I wanted to give a little more information about the guitar as far as the guitar's origins and stuff, because there was one knucklehead in the comment section saying that I was claiming, or I don't know who he thought was claiming this, that somebody, me maybe, was saying that the guitar was made in Korea and that there's no way that you could sell a guitar for $699 and you're trying to say it was made in Korea. And then he was implying that like it was made in China or something. It's like, dude, what's wrong with you? Nobody ever said this guitar was made in Korea. So let's just get everything out there. So this guitar is made in Vietnam. Okay? It's at the factory, which is the IYV factory. IYV is just their in-house brand. Gosh, I already forgot how to say the name of the company. Indian, Vienna, something like that. That's the company. Okay? Now, how did they make this guitar? Where did this guitar come from? It's not like Sean told them, hey, can you just make me a guitar and put Scarred on the headstock and that'll be my Scarred Reaper? Well, that wasn't my Sean voice. I should have done my Sean voice. But anyway, this guitar is made to the exact specifications that Sean told them to make. So the whole design thing, you know, he sent them everything. The computer files that's got like the shape and all the measurements and everything that's going to go into this guitar. So they weren't sitting over there going, hey, let's make this guitar. No. They've got everything from Sean, okay? So this is his baby. This is his guitar. And everything that's on here is because he told them to put it on there, right? And then he mentioned that he bought better quality wood. So I don't know where the wood came from. I didn't get that part, but not the same wood maybe that they use on their in-house guitars, the IYV stuff. So better quality wood, and then all the hardware and stuff made in Korea. So maybe that's where that knucklehead, you know, he wasn't really paying attention to the video. It's like, oh, that guitar you said is made in Korea. No, I never said that. I said the hardware, all the parts and stuff, made in Korea. Okay, so Sean tells him what he wants him to make. He sends over his files with the exact measurements, whatever. It's called a CAD file or something. I don't know if I got that right. And they make the guitar. They put on the parts that he told them to put on there, the made in Korea parts, right? And then they ship the guitars to him in Florida. All right, so he gets the guitars, and then the only thing that they change on it once they get it are the pickups. So they take out the pickups that were installed at the IYV factory, whatever those pickups were, it doesn't matter. And then they put in Kathy's pickups. And then at the same time, Sean does a complete fret leveling, crown, and polish. And then he puts on the new strings, D'Addario 10 gauge strings. And he gets that action super low. So that's it, guys. That's exactly how it's done, right? So, and now somebody's gonna watch this and go, you said, you know, if people would just listen, you know, listen a little better and just not make assumptions about things. Okay, so there you go, guys. Made with Sean's own CNC files. That's CNC files. That's what I was thinking. And buying the wood from a wood store in Vietnam, and then they send it. So it's a whole process. It's a whole process. And I think that has a lot to do with why the guitar turned out so well. Hey, RJ's Cave. What's up, dude? My twin brother over there on the East Coast, RJ. He's the other RJ. I'm West Coast RJ. He's East Coast RJ. You might think there's some kind of rivalry, right? West Coast RJ, East Coast RJ. No, there's no rivalry. There's no, if I could talk again, rivalry. We're just like, he's my brother from another mother. Yep. And so that's another good point. Sean says that's why this guitar is not $300, because all the stuff that went into it. You know, that's another thing that some people were saying in the comments, like, oh, it's just a $300 IYV guitar. Well, it isn't, actually. It isn't, because again, as I already said, you know, he's investing in the better quality wood and the better quality made in Korea components, and then putting in their hand wound pickups. So it's not the same as just I'm gonna do a custom order with IYV. You know, that could be a $300 guitar. In fact, it has been for me several times. But I'm not buying wood from another supplier there in Vietnam. I'm not putting in everything like made in Korea, and so it's just, you know, it's a little bit different deal, guys. A little bit different deal. Oh, I'm your brother from a West Coast mother. Alrighty. How would the bridge pickup compare to a DiMarzio Super D? I don't know, because I don't have anything with a DiMarzio Super D, so I couldn't tell you exactly. You know, I did check the output on these guys. They're Alnico 5, and this one was like, I think it was 14 point something K on the bridge pickup. And then the neck pick was like 7.5 K, somewhere around there. You know what I notice happens on pickups? And I'm not exactly sure why this happens, but if you have a pickup out of the guitar, like not wired into the guitar, and you hook the little alligator clips to it, and then you check it on the meter, and the meter might say something like 15.6 K or something like that. But then after you install the pickups in the guitar, and I don't know if this happens every time, but that output level, when you check it, it seems to go down a little bit. So these were probably 15 point something K before they were installed, but then when I checked it, like 14.6 or something like that. But anything in that 14, 15 K range for bridge pickup for me is really good. And really it's the pinch harmonic test. If I can get that pinch harmonic, especially on the low E string, right there on the 3rd fret, that G note. I did it when I was jamming for you guys at the very beginning, and I held that note, and I went, that's how I know when the bridge pickup is like, it's sufficient for me. So there you go. So what we got, 6-string Stanger in here, and he said he's gonna have his gauntlet up within a week. Yeah, so that's the question, right, guys? What's better, the Reaper or the Gauntlet? And I guess you'll have to tune in to 6-string Stanger to find out. And, you know, maybe you should tell Sean, he's in there, he's watching and he's listening. Tell Sean if you want him to send me a gauntlet, because you want to know, what's the bald dude think of the gauntlet? That's what I was just saying, Sean. Where's my gauntlet? Where is it? Where's my gauntlet? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. So RJ's Cave, he's got a little more knowledge than me about the pickup resistance. He says it's coming from the cable. So that lowers the resistance when you test it from the guitar cable. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. What other brands next would I compare it to? You know what I noticed? Okay, you want to know another brand, right? I'm gonna grab it right here. Check this out. Check this out. You're gonna think this is kind of crazy. This is my Firefly Tiger guitar, right? With the Floyd Rose shred guitar. The neck profile, as far as the thickness and the shape, it's very similar. Very similar. In fact, the Reaper might be slightly thinner. I'd have to get out my caliper and measure him again. But yeah, I actually think the Reaper is a little bit thinner looking at him right here. Because this one is not like, it's not like Ibanez Wizard thin. It's not that thin. It's comfortable, thin enough. But this one, yeah, they're kind of comparable, guys. Kind of. Right? Isn't that weird? Isn't that funny? Right? That is a shred guitar, right? And this one has a neck that's maybe a tad thinner than a shred guitar. Guys, I gotta do it. I didn't do this in the video, but I gotta do it right here. Gotta do it. Ready? Now listen here, Rich. I'm telling you, this ain't no shred guitar, okay? I want you to tell everybody in the video, I want you to say that in the video. Tell them, this ain't no shred guitar. I got news for you, buddy. I got news for you, buddy. With a neck like this and the fretwork like that and these pickups, it's classifies as a shred guitar. So, anyway. What can you say? Shred, right? I shredded on it. And I shredded on it today for 6 minutes at the beginning of the video. You can't shred on a guitar like effectively and successfully and then go, hey, that ain't no shred guitar. Yes, it is. That's right. Sean was pulling a reverse vasectomy on me. God dang it. Anyway. Yeah. So, when are you sending me that gauntlet, Sean? Yep. All right, guys. I need to give my voice a tiny little break here. So I'm going to play the classic clip of the week, which just so happens to be a Firefly clip, because I was just showing you a Firefly guitar, and I have something else I want to show you after the classic clip. So here we go, guys. All right, if you enjoyed that tune, that very song, guys, is on one of my albums. I can't remember if it's on Dawn of the Shredder or Speed of Light, but you can get both of those CDs along with some guitar picks and an autographed picture if you want. There's 2 different packages in my eBay store. So I would be really thrilled if somebody would order my CDs this week. I haven't had any orders this week. If anybody wants to pick that up, that would be awesome. Thank you, guys. So, that was a Firefly in that video, guys. That was one of my earlier Firefly videos, one of my guitars. Can I do a review of an Ethan Hart guitar? Hey, I never heard of that one. I don't even know what that is. I'd have to look it up. All I can say is, when people ask me, can you review this? Can you review that? It's like, you never know. Never say never. It could be something that comes up like in the near future or a year from now, 2 years from now, who knows? But anyway, check it out, guys. Speaking of Firefly, a new Firefly was just delivered today. I haven't even opened the box yet because I literally haven't had time. Got home, had to make dinner, get ready for the live stream stuff. I'm not going to tell you guys what's in here, but let me just say, dream guitar. Can you guys repeat after me? Dream guitar. Oh, yeah. And the word, why am I saying dream guitar? Not just because it's a dream guitar, but the word dream has a double meaning related to this guitar. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, 6-string stinger, you had to go and ruin it. Thanks a lot, Dave. I haven't opened the box yet, so I'm hoping it's the George Lynch Bones guitar. it's supposed to be. Yeah. The Firefly George Lynch Bones guitar, the white one, you know? So now I'll just explain why I said dream guitar, because that's the guitar that he played in the Dream Warriors video, right? Also the It's Not Love video. Yeah, thanks, Dave. You spoiled the surprise. Man. Anyway, I am very excited to get that one because I've seen that guitar since I was a teenager in the 80s. Watching it on MTV. You know, there's George Lynch on the flatbed truck for the It's Not Love video, and they're driving through the streets of LA, and he's up there playing the Bones guitar. And then later on after that, they had the video for Dream Warriors with Freddy Krueger, and he's playing that Bones guitar. And then I saw them in concert opening up for Aerosmith. So this had to be like 1987, maybe, up in Sacramento. And he played the Bones guitar for a lot of the show. And so when you're a teenager and he's your idol and you're just like, oh, wow, Bones, you know, never thinking that one day I would have a guitar that would look like that. And now I do, I hope. I got to open it up and take a look at it. But that's very exciting, very exciting. Now, guys, I do have it was a Reaper video there, Jack Butler. I spent almost the entire show talking about the Reaper. I played it and everything. Okay, ridiculous offers of the week. I got two of them. Yep. I got two of them. The first one is not like super ridiculous, but one of them really is. All right, guys, here we go. Ridiculous offers of the week.
The Bald Shredder presents Ridiculous Offers of the Week.
Okay, here's the first one, guys. Hi, I came across your channel and was impressed by the thought and effort you put into creating high-quality content that truly resonates with your viewers. That's you guys. It's clear that you're dedicated to sharing valuable insights and perspectives with your audience. Well, I'm glad they could see that. So I think our brand values align well with your content. We're a computer keyboard manufacturer, and yet somehow they align with my content. We're a computer keyboard manufacturer committed to crafting high-quality, design-driven products that enhance the user experience. Our partnership terms are flexible, and we're open to exploring creative collaboration opportunities. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, guys, they're talking about like this, a computer keyboard, right? Which has nothing to do with my content. All right, here's another one. If I can find it, where is it? Where is it? This one's really quite funny. Oh, here it is. Hold on, I gotta let somebody out. Why did she put you in here if you don't want to be in here? Okay, go. Get out. The dog. That was the dog. All right, this one's even better, guys. Hello, the Bald Shredder. Like, that's really my real name, right? Hope you are all doing well. There's only one of me. We kindly request a collaboration. Here is the info about this campaign. Then they give me the brand name. Okay, product type. Ready for this, guys? Product type. Kitchen tools. Kitchen tools. This product will be given to you, and we look forward to exchanging our product for a YouTube or an Instagram or a TikTok video. Will this work for you? And then I look down, and there's a picture of the product. Guess what it is, guys? It's a vegetable chopper. Yes. Don't you guys want to see me doing a video on a vegetable chopper? I could start with an onion, maybe. They have an onion there in the picture. Bell pepper. I mean, there's all kinds of things, right? and it aligns. What did she say? Well, this one was not quite as over the top about your content aligns with what we believe in, like the previous email. Usually they say something like that. But yeah, you know what? Maybe I could call it a vegetable shredder. So the bald shredder demonstrating the vegetable shredder. I'm shredding this onion, guys. But no, I will not be doing that video either. Just doesn't quite match well enough, you know? Okay, guys, so what else is going on? What else is going on? You know what I think I'm going to do, guys, is I think I'm going to play that Reaper a little bit more. I normally don't play the guitar again at the end of the live stream, but I think in this case, I'm going to make an exception for you guys. If I can get into view here. Let's see. Am I all... Whoops. Alrighty. I like to think of that as ripping on the Reaper. Double R. Ripping on the Reaper. Yes, guys, that is my line 6. That is my line 6. Plugged into my computer, just like I always am. Line 6 Pod Farm version 2. Which they haven't updated in like years and years. They've basically forgotten about that product, but I still have it on my computer. It still works, thank goodness. I fear the day when like suddenly that software just like stops working because it's so old and like not updated or anything. I think Sean uses the same thing. I think Sean also has that same Line 6 software. Of course, his doesn't quite sound like that when he plays. He's got it set a little bit differently. A little bit more like classic rock. Joe says, use the tremolo. I kept reaching for it. Did you see me, Joe? But I was like, where is it? I'm missing it. I couldn't grab it. I don't know what happened. Don't worry, Dave, 6-string stinger. There's nothing wrong with the way you play. Don't even worry about it. Hey, Zim's Guitars. I must have missed you earlier when you're in there. What's up, Dane? You guys got to check out Zim's Guitars if you haven't already. He's got some really cool videos. He had a video up the other day. I think it was this week. It was an old Charvel. Was it like a parts caster, Dane? I think, but it had a really beautiful body. Like the body wasn't painted, so you could see the wood grain underneath, and he was doing like a setup on it or something. Really nice looking. But anyway, guys, be sure to check out Zim's Guitars. Another one of my favorite YouTubers. Did I pull up the resistor off the volume pot on my Beretta? No, Douglas, I never did anything to that Beretta. I didn't even have it that long. I ended up selling it. So I don't have it anymore. I sold it quite a while ago. I could not vibe very well with that guitar for whatever reason. All right, guys, so that pretty much does it for this week's live stream with yours truly. I want to thank everybody for being in here this week. I really appreciate it. All the usual people and anybody new that showed up for the first time this week. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you taking an hour out of your week to sit here and hang with me. It's really awesome. I don't know what's going on over there. The door's open suddenly. But anyway, so no other videos this week. Members, if you're not a member, consider becoming a member. There will be a members only live stream on Sunday, like I usually do, 4 o'clock on Sunday. And let's see. And then on Monday I'll have a brand new video. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but it's another new guitar, of course, like a new brand that for a lot of you guys, there's a little hand over there, I saw the shadow. A lot of you guys probably haven't heard of this brand. So anyway, be sure to tune in on Monday, guys. Emma's over there waving her hand. All right, guys, I'm going to do my countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Later, guys.